All right. Hey man, say man, what's up, man? But nah, I know it's been a minute. Like I said, I'm still figuring my way out through this. I feel like every single time I do this, I get a little closer to knowing what it is or what the purpose of this is or why I even felt called to do it. But one thing that was on my spirit was being more vulnerable in this about, things I go through that other people may be going through that I just am so used to kind of just taking it on myself and just figuring it out myself. And really just kind of trying to figure out the whole puzzle in one piece is what it feels like, honestly. And I know the things that I deal with aren't, necessarily singular to who I am or to me as a person. Because I know one of my biggest struggles that I'm witnessing right now is my reactions to loneliness and just being by myself. Like, it's a forever growth, because it's like I see myself constantly changing moment after moment, experience after experience. And then also like picking up new desires, letting old desires go, but also letting people go in my life that I thought were going to be there forever. Because what I'm witnessing right now in my life is the dichotomy between comfortability and being uncomfortable, and recognizing those areas within myself while also giving myself grace. Because it's like the way I view life, bro, it's just like everything you go through is what you're meant to go through, and everything that happens for a reason. Like, I'm a firm believer in perfect timing. I don't believe necessarily that any relationships I encounter or have encountered in the past, even the ones that came with hurt, that came with pain, or ended on negativity, like, I feel like all of those happen for a reason, because it's like we really do have these ideas of ourselves that we see accomplishing all of our dreams, accomplishing everything that we wanted out of this life before we even got here, that our like spirit and soul decided for us. And right now my biggest battle is being vulnerable with myself and allowing myself to be there for myself. I am a giving person, so I've always been the one that has been there for other people, and I've always been the one that'll be like showing up. And I ain't gonna say I'm the most consistent, but I am a reliable person, in the sense that, if you really do need me, I'll be there for you. And sometimes, like, that in itself was tough on me, because I felt like nobody was really there for me the way I was there for everybody else. And it's like, you ain't never have to ask me to be there for you. If I rocked with you, like, I might just be there as just a genuine person as I am. Like I said, I'm a strong believer in love and just agape in general, which is just God's love, universal love, and becoming the epitome of that. Because it's like, this world don't get better unless you start with yourself, truthfully and honestly. Like, there is no progress if you don't decide to start a process for yourself. I like that. That was tough. But this is the progress. This is the process. And it's just like, all those thoughts of where you want to be can hinder you. And they definitely do hinder me. Like, I think so much about being 24 going on 25. And I'm just like, bro, like, I haven't bought a house yet. I haven't found the woman who's going to be my wife yet. I haven't achieved the body I want yet. But at the same time, it's like every time I do that, I am dismissing all the blessings to be where I am and who I am. Like, success isn't defined by those social statuses of having a house, having everything figured out, or just feeling like you are where you want to be. Because at the same time, I feel like that feeling in itself is dangerous. To me personally, like, I view it as a place of complacency and comfortability, to be where you want to be, as if like your journey is just ended, And for some people it may not be that serious, you may just be, oh, sorry for the nipple slip. But for some people, like, life just may be simpler for you, in the sense that you don't really want for much. You don't desire for much. And that in itself is beautiful as well. And that's honestly where I am, is just like balancing the acceptance of where I am, understanding where I want to be, and loving myself in it. And that's been the biggest thing, because it's like, that's where my spirit wanted me to be more open about things I go through, is because it's just like, the shame we can place on ourselves is a trap. When in reality, like, I don't care who you are, what you've done, or what was done to you that you feel like you had no control over, or that you do feel like you have had control over, but in reality you didn't have control over it. That in itself, shame, is a big corrupter of just your image of who you are, because that shame will tell you that you are that thing. That shame will tell you that you are an adulterer, that you are a cheater, that you are undeserving of the places you want to be, that you are just so hurt you can't be healed, and many more things. Like, it'll just beat you down, beat you down, beat you down, and try to keep you confined. But in itself, that darkness is low-key the darkness we have to learn to love and work through, because it's only in those moments to where your self-reliance shows the most, is when you show up for yourself in those moments when that voice inside of your head is trying to bring you down. The negativity, the evils of this world are trying to just beat you, and stop you from seeing your light, but have you see as though you're being concealed and taken over by darkness, when in reality, that darkness is meant to help you shine. That self-reliance, that self-love is what beats through the darkness like rays of sunshine through clouds on like a gloomy day, and you catch that little ray that just sneaks its way through to show that the sun is still out there. Like, that's you, fam. That's me. That's us. That's what we are. We are that light, you know? I've done a lot of reading into like the spiritual side of things, the mystical, the miraculous, the amazing. I started in this book called the Kybalion, and what it talks about is basically that there is an equal opposite for everything. So, for as much as there is evil, there is love. But love cannot exist without evil, and evil cannot exist without love. But at the same time, we all just come from one singular source. That love and that evil comes from one singular source, which is just the knowingness, which is just God, which is just the universe, which is the completeness, the absolute of everything. So what I'm saying in this is, loving your darkness, loving your evil is just as important as loving the love in your life. Because we truly cannot grow without hard times. Because if we could grow without hard times, like, I feel like life would be less fun. Life would be less invigorating. It would be very dull if everything you ever wanted was just in front of you, you know? Like, you didn't have to work for it. That's why I'm low-key kind of glad I wasn't born rich. Like, I do enjoy the hustle. I do enjoy the grind. I do enjoy just figuring out life and figuring out the path that I'm meant to take, the path that's meant for me, or just like working off faith and just spiritual intuition and knowingness that I am made for than what my eyes or my mind allows me to see. And that same thing goes for you. Like, it is so easy to get caught up in the everyday, 9 to 5, and have it drain you. And then if you got kids too, I'm not saying kids are a draining thing, but they require attention, they require love, and they require you as a parent, as an uncle, as an auntie, as a big brother, as a big sister, whatever it may be. And every single day, like, it just seems like a lot of this stuff is getting pulled from you, pulled out of you, like your energy's just being taken from you, or like you don't have the energy to put it into the things that you matter most. But have we ever thought about that it's not really a time limitation or energy limitation, but more so a focus limitation? Because I've seen and heard God do amazing things in a singular moment, kind of like that sensation of it happened overnight, you know. That in itself is the beauty in what could happen when you take that mindset and flip it from everything is draining you to kind of like setting you up to achieve your success, your dreams with the least amount of effort in a physical sense, when God is trying to direct you towards something that is expedited. I think I'm coming down off that one, yeah. And I know I'm still everywhere with like what I'm talking about. Like, I'm just kind of working on listening to my spirit and speaking out of my spirit solo. Like, I've done it with other people, like where in the Bible it says, where two or more are gathered, that in itself is bringing the presence of God, and that in itself is church. But at the same time, I feel like you can have those conversations with yourself and with your spirit, because I was always taught that like God speaks loudest in the silence, But like I said, man, I'm still figuring it out. I think that's all I got for today. I'm gonna work on being more consistent with this. I'm talking about like posting at least like 1 or 2 times a week, just to keep consistency up and build my growth in this. But yeah, man. And as of right now, like, I'm off the road, I'm back home. I made enough money to kind of just sit down for a little bit, but I see that I'm not really drawn to going back to a regular job. I don't really want to be on the road. I really just want to make money out of something creative and something that's freeing, so I can just be more in life. Like, I'm living right now, but it just don't feel like I'm living to my fullest extent. And at the same time, got to give grace, because I am exactly where I need to be. But I guess this ambition is what's fueled from me just sitting here and not wanting to go down my traditional route. And I'm just figuring this out as I'm speaking with y'all, as I'm just speaking to myself. But yeah, just to keep it up front, man, like, as of right now, I'm just dealing with loneliness, dealing with self-discipline, consistency, with my prayers, my meditations, my affirmations, also consistency in the gym, getting where I want to be. And as of right now, I think that's like all I'm really just trying to focus on. And just, when I say self-discipline, I'm a smoker. Like, I smoke Black and Milds. I used to smoke a vape. I got a nicotine pouch in right now, but I'm working on self-discipline to stop smoking, put that down. I still like weed though. Small breaks for weed, for tolerance and clarity. But some people can, some people can't. Discernment. Know what you can and can't do. Know what you can and can't do. Your boy still celibate, going strong. Shit, 3 months in. And honestly, bro, like, also I will say, like, I watch porn like 4-5 times, but at the same time, like, my desire into lust isn't as strong as it used to be. The more love I'm finding for myself, the more I realize like sex was just a tool to fight my loneliness, But we gonna leave it off on that. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope this message provided something for you or a perspective for you. But outside of that, God bless to all people, God's people, and even the people that don't know he people, or even the people that don't know they are his people. Amen. But God bless, and y'all take care for real.